getting to know Jesus, though, that sounds like that could be mission possible. I said, it is. He said, all right. So you said the three-legged stool stuff. I said, yeah. He says, okay. He says, I'm going to go home and tell that girl I'm living with, she's going to have to get out because I'm going to get serious about getting to know Jesus. I said, wait a minute, time out. You didn't understand. He goes, what? I said, you're still confused. I didn't tell you to tell the girl to get out. Oh, he said, you're confused because I didn't tell you what I'm doing with that girl. See, we don't just share a house and split the rent. I live in the same bedroom and sleep in the same bed, if you get my drift. I said, I got your drift, but it's not, the girl's not your problem. Your problem is you're not spending daily time with Jesus. And the reason I know you're confused is because you think you have to clean up your life to come to Jesus, but the truth is we come to Jesus just as we are in order to get our lives cleaned up. Otherwise, we'd never sing that song in the hymnal, just as I am, without one plea, except that your blood was shed for me. Yeah. So he goes, wow. I said, here's more. Don't you think God's just as interested in the girl as he is in you? Yeah. So why don't you go home to that girl and tell her you just discovered you can become friends of Jesus, and ask her if she'd like to get to know you, Jesus, with you, and read the Gospel of John together. And he said, are you really a pastor? I said, I am. He said, I never heard a pastor talk like that. I said, well, I'm just telling you what Jesus said, all right? It's not my words, it's Jesus said. He said, whoever comes to me, I'll never cast out. He goes, okay, I'll do it. I said, all right, then I'll pray for you. So I prayed for him. He went home to the girl, told her, and she said, are you kidding? I want nothing to do with that nonsense. I'm out of here. And she packed up and moved out on him that very night. But he did what he said he was going to do. He began spending daily time with Jesus for the purpose of becoming better acquainted. And Jesus did what Jesus said he will do. If I'm lifted up, I will draw you to myself. And this guy discovered that as Jesus comes in, the garbage gets crowded out. All his life, he'd been trying to overcome the power of lust. Yes. He'd been focusing on trying to not be that way. Yes. But he kept failing. All of a sudden, Jesus comes in, and he finds out that lust got crowded out. Yeah. He's been made pure, you know. The fruits of the Spirit, you know, is just pure. He was so excited. He went back to his wife. He told her, man, Christianity is not about what you do, it's about who you know, and then who you know changes what you do. Let me tell you what Jesus is doing in my life. And he starts telling her about being friends with Jesus. He starts telling her about how the stuff is just vanishing from his life that had been so addictive to him. And she could tell that this was not phony baloney. She could tell that there was a real transformation going on in his life. And then she asked this amazing question. Remember, she's the church member that hasn't quit going to church. And she says to him, so how do you get to know Jesus as a friend? Wow. So it's possible to be a lost coin in the church and not know you're lost. Yes. Yeah. Isn't it good that someone's looking for lost coins too? That's right. So he told her about the three-legged stool. Yeah. She starts reading to know Jesus in the Gospels. Yes. And Margie and I, my wife, Margie and I had the privilege of redoing their wedding vows for them. Wow. And 25 years later, we bumped into them at a church, and they tearfully thanked us for introducing them to the glue that has held their marriage together for more than 30 years now. Wow. And they also said, and you might be excited to know, we've had the privilege of helping more than 300 people become friends with Jesus that didn't know you could. Right, right. Wow. So those three legs of the stool we're talking about, we're not talking about a stool. We're talking about reading the Bible for the purpose of connecting with Jesus. Right. And he did that. He lifted up Jesus. He prayed to God as you open up your heart to a friend. Right. And he had that communication with God. And then he started sharing it with others. Exactly. He shared it with his wife. He shared it with everyone he came in contact with, and it transformed his life. Transformed him. Yes. So your original question was sort of like, so how do we deal with flops and failures? Correct. Yeah, absolutely. That's it. You stay connected with Jesus, and you look at him and not at yourself. And by looking at him, you are transformed. We're going to look at a Bible verse that says that just in a minute, and we're going to take a break, and we'll come right back to that.